You are my fire, the one desire. It's trying to embody Jax Taylor and Tom Sandoval because they're the two that we're going to be chatting about tonight. We catch up on beach day. Ariana's ready to finally move out of the house. And then Kristen Doty is still in the hot seat. But is she lying or did she just repeat a rumor? I didn't start a rumor. I repeated a rumor. You're listening to No Filter with Zach Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What up, everybody in the club? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. What's going on, everybody? It is our Wednesday night Vanderpump Rules and now the Valley recap. Hi, Danny. Hi, Miss Diamond. Hi, Britt. Hi, Birdie. Hi, Patty. I love a late live. We always have an evening live on a Wednesday when we recap our Vanderpump and we recap our Valley. We are now at episode 11 of Vanderpump Rules and episode 4 of the Valley. Oh boy, we have Kristen in the hot seat. So we pick things up. We're back at the beach day. Right. And it's not like Katy Perry's California girls, you got sexy Daisy Dukes bikinis on top. Nope, we're not doing that vibe because Ariana is mad because Tom Sandoval's over there and he's like, she don't even pay her bills. And she's like, it's my dog. I paid a bill. I paid the vet bill. I paid the adoption fee bill. And then Schwartz is like, I think I'm going to take Sandoval to the bar, even though he doesn't drink. I'm going to take him, and maybe we're going to find some single girls because we need to get him away from Ariana. Because Ariana, even though we drew a line in the sand, James Kennedy says we have to keep them separated. I don't know. Ariana has a shank in her back pocket, and I think she might shank him. So we're going to bounce. And then Ariana's like, good. I don't know why you keep bringing them around. And then Brock's over there, just swirling his little heelys. And he's like, when are you going to get over it? Like, it's time to, it's when he's been castrated. And she's like, you want to see castrated? I have a shank in my back pocket. And I'm going to castrate him real quick. Him and Raquel, because I have the knife right here to castrate him. And I got the cheese grater ready. So when Raquel shows up, the cheese grater is ready. Okay. Then we go to the bar, right? And we're chilling, we're having drinks, and Schwartz and Sandoval are kind of being gross because they're like 50-year-old men buying like shots for these 20-year-old girls, even though Sandoval doesn't even drink. But he's like, what do you want, baby? You want some Quaaludes? JK, that's a joke. And so, Zach, how much caffeine have you had? You're breaking it down in 0 to 60. Listen, I don't think I've had enough caffeine. Well, I don't know. I just feel very like energetic today. I feel like I have like some jade rose quartz, like an egg inside of like, I don't know. I'm radiating energy. I think I might go for a second workout at Orange Theory. I'm on Dorinda Medley level. I think what it is too is I'm not drinking. I'm drinking a poppy right now. I told you guys I'm taking I'm doing a 2-week drink and 2-week alcohol and sugar cleanse. So back to the story. Okay. As I was saying, let me get back to my story. Where was I? Oh, that's right. They're buying shots for the girls, and then Ariana's outside, and then Katie calls Tom Schwartz, and she's like, hey, Tom Schwartz, all your stuff is here. And he's like, oh, cool, can you pack it up for me? And she's like, nah, bro, we're not married anymore. Peace. Boom. And then Katie comes in with like, she's Mr. Still Your Girl. And she comes in and Schwartz is talking to Sheena's nanny. And he's like, oh, hey, I have, the IQ of a 4-year-old. So like maybe we can date. And then the nanny's like, ooh, yeah, but I kind of like your ex-wife. And then Katie rolls in and she's like, yo, girl. She's like, hey. And then the nanny's like, hey. And then she's like, ooh, threesome. And then Katie's like, been there, done that. And he can't even get his dick up. Right. Forward. Thank you. Next, I saw Adam's video today and he's asking people watching to get activated in the comments. Activated in his comments or my comments? Activated about what? Baby, we don't get activated. We get Zactivated. Again, the content over here on this side of the YouTube streams is not mediocre and vanilla. We're like Rocky Road with a little bit of pistachios in it, right? We keep things exciting. We have a little dash of cinnamon. But I mean, some people like vanilla bean. It's consistent, you always know what you're going to get. It's usually a page 6 article. Okay, back. Stop distracting me in the live chat. I like that we're not taping the podcast and this is solely like a live stream because then we can just like riff and chat. His comments are reminding me of getting Zactivated again. There's getting activated, and then there's Zactivated. You know, there's vanilla, and then there's Baskin Robbins 31 flavors. Pick one. Um, See, you guys get me started. It's reality blurb too. You guys get me started, and then I always get in trouble, and then people are always like, "See, you're always shading people." I throw shade. Fuck off. That's what I do. I throw shade. It's equal opportunity shade all across the board. Period. So anyway, back to the story. What page was I on? Okay. So then we see Ariana, and she's talking to Lala and Sheena, and she's like having a vulnerable moment. And I really like this moment that she was having with them because I go back and forth with Ariana, where part of me, where I'm like, I understand where Lala's coming from, where I'm just like, oh my God, can you please just like move out of the house for your own mental, excuse me, for your own mental. That's what happens when you drink a probiotic soda when you go live and then you talk too fast. I feel like I haven't had one of these like talking fast recaps in a minute. But anyway, she's crying to Sheena and to Lala, and I get it. Lala's like, "Oh my God, why can't you move out of this house?" And she's like, "It's my dream house." And this is the first time we really see her get like vulnerable about it, you know? You're messing with me. It's not Thursday. I'm always live every Wednesday evening recapping Vanderpump and every Thursday for our members only. This is not a members only. This is our regular Wednesday recap. It's just a little bit earlier than we normally do because I think I'm going to go to Orange Theory after this because I just have energy today. I'm just like, let me burn it on the treadmill. Workout number 2. I just want to get guns going, you know? I just want to be like, "Arr, arr, let's get it." Hi. Oh, Pamela. Hannah says, "Hi, Zach. Thank you for highlighting autism awareness. I also have a brother on the spectrum, Asperger's. Stop self diagnosing people." Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Pamela. To all the haters on Reddit that need to rub one out, get it. Um, Say it with my chest. Say it with my chest. People are like, "Ooh, he must be really scared if he can't stop talking about it." And I'm just like, "Oh, I'm so scared that you have mean words to say about me on the internet. I've never heard that before." Ooh. Um, but so we have this moment of vulnerability with Ariana that I really appreciated, and I actually really like it. Because we have all we've seen is this anger from her, right? And she just lashes out, and it just seems like she's bitter. But we see that anger always roots from pain, and we can see that she's still hurting, and she, has this moment where she breaks down. She's just like, "I did nothing to him." She's like, "I did absolutely nothing to him. He's the one that hurt me." And then he feels entitled to be able to live in this house that was my dream house. I designed it to be my dream house. And when you hear her really talk about it in that way and talk about how much the house means to her, and, because at first it just seems like she's doing this out of spite, right? And we're just like, oh my God, like let it go, move on. But now we see that it's not out of spite, it's out of pain. It's this breakup that she's going through, not just with Tom, but with this home that she thought was going to be her forever home. And now she has to do it all over again. It's interesting that her and Lala are not on the same page right now, or that we see them having a fallout, because it seems like they both went through something very traumatic where they lost something, right? Specifically, or like more broadly, their relationship. But you see Ariana fighting for the house because now she wants to buy her own house so that nobody can ever take that away from her again. And we see Lala go through that same journey this episode with going to the baby making factory. And at the baby making factory, she talks about with Sheena about how like she never wants to be put in a position where somebody can take her baby away from her again. And so it's interesting that, I mean, even though it's a house and a baby and you can't really compare the two, but you kind of can compare the two situations. They don't want, it feels like they had the rug ripped up from underneath both of them, and um they don't want to have it happen to them again. They don't want to be blindsided again. So, yeah. um Lala girl can't relate because she lived off of Randall. Yes, but I mean in the baby sense, right? In the sense of like she's feeling this attachment to have another baby because she wants to have this baby on her own because she doesn't want anyone to be able to have, that say as, the custody battle she's going through with Randall. And that's kind of where Ariana's at, from what we see in this episode with the house. She's excited to buy a new home that she gets to make her home that's going to be all hers that nobody can take away from her. So we have that. We have Lala on her baby making journey. We know she gets pregnant. Good for her. She just posted a cute little thirst trap with her belly, and good for her. Um, and then we have Schwartz and the nanny and Katie. It seems like Katie's winning that. I don't think Schwartz is that into the nanny. Schwartz is just like spreading the seed and doing his thing and living his life. It did make me sad. First of all, shout out to Sloppy Joe, because when Sloppy Joe kind of buttons it up, you're like, ooh, she's not a Sloppy Joe. She's like a nice, she's a nice little fillet. She's a burger, She's not a Sloppy Joe. She's like a fine, medium rare burger, right? Nice and juicy. But listen, a little dry shampoo, it goes a long way, as we can see. Does really well. Okay. A little makeup on Sloppy Joe. They say you can't put lipstick on a pig. In this case, I think it paid off. We should put lipstick on Sloppy Joe more often because she was looking hot. I was like, she be looking banging. She ain't, maybe Schwartz likes. Well, I don't know. Maybe he likes a good little Sloppy Joe. But I don't know. When she dresses up, homegirl looks good. When I saw her at the reunion with the photos and her cute little dress, it's not even a cute little dress. She's like coming like, "I'ma steal your man, Schwartz." And Schwartz is like, okay, which broke my heart because you can see that she loves him so much and she wants to give him so like, oh, it broke my heart. And I really did have a more compassionate place in my heart for Joe because she's like, what are you, embarrassed of me? Like, what, you don't want to be seen with me? You don't want people to know that we were intimate? Like, and then you see her finally have this moment where she snaps and she's like, no, fuck that. We were just intimate. We've told each other I love you. Like, I don't know if he's giving me mixed signals, but like he's giving me very clear like signals that he wants something, but then he doesn't want this, and he's telling people one thing, but to me it's completely different. And I feel like we've all been caught in situations like that, right? Where somebody's not being clear with their communication, or maybe you're not on the same page. It just and in the final scene where she's like crying, he's like, "No, Joseph, what are you doing?" And she's like, "I want to call my dad." My heart broke for her. My heart broke for Joseph. I don't like calling her Joseph. I will call her Sloppy Joe. Um, it broke my heart because it's like she's banging him and she's in love with him. And I'm sure to him, he's like, I love you, but I love you as like a friend. And to her, she's like, I love you, And then, but it did piss me off that he was just like, oh my God, it's so disappointing that I can't be friends with her. Like, that's going to be a real bummer. It's like, yeah, bro, but you're the one that put us here. You're the one that put us in this situation. Okay. You're the one that didn't choose her. And I feel like poor Joe will always have that door open for Schwartz. And then eventually, I hope she doesn't let him back. Don't let him back, Joe. He didn't choose you. Okay. And he needs to pay the price of not choosing you. That's why Katie walked away from him, because he didn't choose her. He always chose everyone else. And if he didn't learn that lesson the first time, then you know what? That's on him. And he's going to learn that lesson real quick. Otherwise, he is out. Thank you. Next. Period. Sloppy Joe better not give him her sloppy seconds anymore. We're done with that, Joe. Joe, if you're listening, I know I've given you shit. Probably going to continue to give you shit. So just come to accept it. But just know that there is a place of love coming from here that says you are better than Schwartz. He's a good guy, but he will always. Oh, yeah. Joe says Schwartz will always choose Sandoval. Yeah, I did like that Joe got a little bit of revenge, right? Because he went and made Schwartz look like Kate Gosselin with that blonde hair. That was some bad blonde. That was a real bad blonde bleach job that she did on him. She's like, listen, if I can't have him, no bitch will. It's like, I'm gonna make him Ken, but like low budget. Like Ken, but like Cynthia Ken, right? Cynthia from Rugrats, Cynthia. She's like, I'm gonna make him Ken from Goodwill. Let me color a little on his face too. Joe did his hair like that on purpose to get back at him for his bullshit. Period. Because she would have fixed it and she would have done a nice little tone if he didn't do that bullshit with her. Good thing Joe just caught feelings and not the warts or STIs. I guess. Yeah. She fucked up his hair. She sure did, Pamela. She sure did. She should have shaved it. Bad. Really botched him up. She threw that color on faster than I've ever seen. Yep. And she washed it out way too damn quick because that was brassy. That was yellow and brassy. I was like, oh, that hair was a hate crime. It was. It really was. She's like, it looks so good. It looks so good. Show it off. And I love how Kyle Chan, their friend Kyle, who was there with them, I like how Kyle Chan was like, that hair is not going to get him anyone tonight. And then Sloppy Joe Diabolic, he was like, I know. That's the whole point. He's mine. Bitches beware. And then there was that hoe that took his hat. That's why he put the hat on. He needed some toner stat. He did need some toner. And just like a second little round of like a lighter bleach, right? Like a little bleach wash, something. Schwartz hair is crazy. Doesn't go well with his skin tone either. He went from good looking to freaky looking. That's how Sloppy Joe likes him. He likes her sloppy and she likes him creepy. Like, listen, I'm going to make sure Katie wins that competition with the nanny real quick. Bleach. And then also interesting that Katie gets mad at Lala for having a cheese dog with Sloppy Joe, right? Because they go to get hot dogs and Lala gets a cheese dog, which I haven't had a cheese dog in like, I mean, I probably haven't had a cheese dog in like 23 years. I must have been like 6 or 7 years old the last time I had a cheese dog from hot dog on a stick. Oh my God. At the mall. Nobody even goes to the mall these days. Do they? No. Nobody goes to the mall. Everyone goes to Sheen. Everyone wants that Sheen by Sheree. He needed some purple shampoo stat. Even that would have helped, you know? Katie was so mad that Lala went and had lunch with Joe. And I'm team Lala on this one because I'm like, why are you mad, girl? Like, it's not like she's bringing Joe around. Like, Joe reached out to her. She's like, hey, I would like to go hang out with you. I would like to get to know you better. And Lala was like, okay, sure. I'll get to know you better. And that's the extent of it. And Katie's like, well, that's not loyal, nor is it consistent. And even Sheena was like, she's been the most consistent to you. So let's not even go with this inconsistent thing, but the disloyal thing. How is this disloyal to you? You literally banged Max Boyens, who's Schwartz's best friend. So at this point, what are the rules? Nobody can keep up with Katie's rules because they're ever evolving. So he could never pull a blondie like you, Zach. Thank you. Not many can. What Katie told Lala, she's not loyal to Katie. I was like, what the? Yeah, what loyalty does she owe you? You literally banked Max Boyan. So what loyalty does Lala owe you? And why is Lala not allowed to catch a corn dog with Sloppy Joe? You know? Whoever said Katie only finds enjoyment in anger is so right. It's so true. Sounds like something James Kennedy would have said, but it's so true. Katie finds joy in being angry. I think Katie is mad because Lala would get upset at her. I don't think so because it was just so. Katie's behavior is inconsistent because I get it. She's like, nobody in the friend groups. Let's not go for anybody in the friend group. Okay, got it. But then Katie's over here going on dates with the same girl that she knows Schwartz is going out with, on top of also banging Max. And like, so like, where does Katie stand on anything is my question. Like, are you bothered by these other people? Are you not bothered by these other people? I get it. She thinks that Joe's a crackhead. And that's not to say that Joe's not a crackhead, because when Katie said that she was a crackhead, then Joe's mom, remember, Sloppy Joe was like, my mom called me and asked me if I was a crackhead. I was like, I feel like your mom should feel confident that you're not a crackhead. But the fact that she had to ask that begs the question, are you? Now I have questions. If your mom is questioning you, I have questions. You know, where's the pipe? That's what they do, right? How do you smoke crack? I feel like if you had like a glass pipe that like wouldn't that break easily? I could just feel like if you're smoking crack, you're just a little reckless. And like a glass pipe doesn't sound very efficient. I don't know. I've never smoked crack. Um, and I'm proud to say that. And listen, if anybody ever went on the internet and called me a crackhead, you know what my mother wouldn't ask? If I'm a crackhead. My mother, I would hope, would feel very confident knowing that I am not a crackhead. For the record, crack is whack. She hasn't talked about busting a train through his restaurant. Yeah, I thought the same thing about her mom having to ask her. Right, Jen? Like, it just is like, mm, but if like I were her mom, I would probably ask too. I'd be like, sweetie, crack is whack, but like if you are doing it, I'd rather you do it in the house, where we can monitor you. If Bobby and Whitney were that happy. She said something about ADD, maybe just her medication. I don't know. Is her medication crack? Is that what you're trying to say? Crack helps ADD? In that case, you get crack, you get crack, you get crack. Let me crack your back. You're watching while your cat delivers kittens. Whoo-wee. Wild. But so yeah, I thought Katie was a little out of line with all of that. And so I was not a fan of it. I was not here for it. I was like, no, thank you, ma'am. Stay in your lane. What loyalty do you owe to anyone? You know? So we move on from that. And I mean, that was really the gist of Did anything else interesting happen on Vanderpump Rules? We had Tom Sandoval. They went paintball shooting. Yeah, nothing groundbreaking else that came out of the episode. So let's move on over to the Valley. And the Valley still really centers around Kristen Doty. And we pick up where we left off last week, where Michelle's yelling at Kristen for starting this rumor. And she's like, Kristen, just say you're lying. And Kristen's like, but I'm not lying. And she's like, just say you're lying. And so Kristen's like, you want me to lie and just pretend that I made this whole thing up? And she's like, yes, just lie and say that you made this whole thing up. And Kristen's like, I'm not going to lie and say that I made this whole thing up when I didn't make this whole thing up. And then finally, Kristen and Zack sit down and she's like, I'm so hurt by you. I'm so disappointed in you. And he's like, Kristen, you're crazy. Yeah, we think that she's a racist, but we're not going to say that on camera. And Kristen's like, but you said it. And he's like, but we're not going to admit it. He's like, I said Republican, wink, wink. Janet said Republican, which is not the same thing as racist, but you can read between the lines, wink, wink. And then Kristen's like, I don't get the game. And I actually believe that they called her homophobic and they called her racist and they thought that she was a Republican. If they didn't blatantly say it, they definitely implied it. I just feel like they absolutely did. And listen, Janet's not drinking because even though we saw her smelling that wine, she ain't drinking. So I'm pretty sure she remembers what she said, but she's like, I'm not going down like that. And I think Kristen was right. She had a point of being like, Janet knows how to plant a seed. And even though she doesn't necessarily say something, she implies things. And then that's where things get run off with. And Michelle's just like, I need you to admit that you made this whole thing up and that you lied. And Kristen's like, but I didn't make it up and I didn't lie. She's like, I'm not like, I shouldn't have said it. No, because if anybody knows how like brutal it can be from throwing out an accusation like that out there, I get it. Old tweets and posts were dug up from Joe where she referred to herself first as a crackhead. Oh, well, then maybe her mom is onto something. Well, but anyway, I'm surprised Joe and Kristen aren't friends anymore because they used to be friends. I would love to know what they bonded over, number one. And number two, it's interesting that Joe is still friends with Raquel. Yeah, my head be spinning. How about Janet hiding behind the wall and eavesdropping? Oh, Janet. Janet. I don't like Katie's vibes. Too negative. Well, some people really like Katie, and I'm just like, I don't see why. Hmm. Kristen's boyfriend looks like he should be on an Irish Spring commercial. Yeah, I agree. That relationship, okay. So I justice for Kristen. I don't think she should have said it on camera, but I don't think she pulled this out of nowhere. I think the things like maybe there was a little bit of like Kristen reading too much in between the lines and assuming things, but I think what she said was basically what they were implying, and they were all having these conversations and all talking about it. I think they all don't really like Michelle. It doesn't seem like they were that close to Michelle to begin with, so that's where I stand on that. But Kristen's relationship with Luke, I do think it's a little odd that he is only here temporarily. just to make a baby. And he's under the impression that she's going to move back to Colorado. And she's under the impression that maybe he might want to stay in LA. But he definitely does not want to stay in LA. And she doesn't seem like she's eager to go to Colorado. So, like, what happens? Like, she's finally had a career again. So now what? She's going to get pregnant. And what? She's going to convince him to stay here as long as she can. But eventually he's going to want to go back. And he's going to want to raise his baby in Colorado, not in California. So, yeah, getting out of California would be good for Kristen, move her ass to Colorado. I agree, but now she's back on television. Like, now I think that that was originally the plan of like, okay, well, he can come here temporarily. Let's try to work on a baby. And then once we're ready to settle down, like, we can move to Colorado. But now she has the Valley. The Valley's really popular. I just either I don't know. Like, maybe he's gonna get hooked with all the fame and the attention, and maybe he's gonna wanna move to LA because he's gonna get caught up in the glitz of it all. Or maybe, like, I don't think he's gonna be able to pull her out of this world now that she's back in it, you know? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I agree with you guys. I think Jax might be right. She could get another show. That's highly unlikely. Um, I don't know. Like, what is she gonna I mean, if she gets pregnant, where do they go? But you do not ever assume a Republican is racist or anyone for that matter. She made an ass out of you and me. Yeah, I know. I agree. I don't think Kristen made that assumption, though. I think they implied that. I think they were heavily trying to be like, yeah, Janet, that old racist, she must have voted for Trump. I'm pretty sure that they were saying all of that stuff. No, I don't. But I agree with you. I don't think being a Republican makes you racist or makes you homophobic. I agree with that. I don't think it's a bad thing to be a Republican, and I don't think it's a bad thing to be a Democrat, but I don't think it's a good thing to be a Democrat, and I don't think it's a good thing to be a Republican. I'm right in the middle of it all here, you know? So I think you just let people be people and judge them based off of who the person they are, who they show up to be in this world and how they treat you. But you don't need to judge somebody based off of their political affiliation or assume anything about them because of their political affiliation. But I don't know what's going to happen with Kristen and Luke. Luke seemed very confident that Janet did use the word racist, though. He was like, I heard it on the phone. So it seemed like Janet maybe did say something, imply something, dance around something. Um, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I did find it interesting that Sloppy Joe was like, I never knew that Tom and Raquel were having an affair. I always thought that Tom and Ariana were broken up, so I didn't really pay attention to it. She was too busy goo goo gaga over Schwartz. So yeah. IDK, I don't know. But justice for Kristen. I think Michelle's going a little too hard. I don't know. Michelle, I think her and Jesse are just making, like, I mean, I get it, but also, like, I just think, like, come on. Clearly, these other people are talking shit about you. That's what I got from this. Kristen was the only one that was real enough to say it out loud. But clearly, these other people really do feel this way. But if that's who she wants to stay friends with, we'll see how loyal they stay to her in the end. What else happened in the valley? Jax and Brittany aren't having sex. They only have sex twice a year. But Jax before was like, we used to have sex. Like, I always wanted sex like 3 to 5 times a day. And as I said on today's podcast, that's too many times a day. That's so many times a day. Like that, who has time for that? Who has the energy for it? Like 5 times a day is a lot of times to be having sex. Like that's too many times. That's way too many times for me. I can't. I can't. Yeah. Joe went to Thanksgiving at Ariana, so she knew Ariana thought they were still together. Well, that's a good point, Joe. That's a good point, Sloppy Joe. But she was just like, listen, I wasn't paying attention to them. I didn't really care. And Raquel went and outed Joe, saying that she was one of the people that knew about the affair. But now Joe's like, I didn't know about the affair. How was I supposed to know about the affair? I also think Joe's just a little oblivious to a lot of stuff. So Tom and Raquel could have been making out right in front of Joe, and Joe would have been like, I don't know, maybe that's Ariana, and I'm just high on crack. Who knows? But what else happened on the vet? We had Kristen and Luke. We had all the Janet Michelle bullshit. We had the charity event. Jax and Brittany. Oh, baby Cruz. Seen him lose his speech and go into that regression. Oh, that definitely hurt my heart. We've been there with my brother with a similar struggle. I don't know if Cruz has autism. That's something he would have to be diagnosed with formally, but I don't know. I just saw that. I mean, just seeing them work with him. I remember doing the sign language with my brother, and we had to learn the different signs. So we were trying to teach him sign language so that he could have some sort of verbal communication. But, it's interesting. Interessante. But okay, I think that's all I have for you guys. That recap went by quick. Goodbye for now to you, my friends. I need to decide. Should I do a second class at Orange Theory? I worked out at 6 a.m. I have another 6 a.m. workout tomorrow. Should I squeeze in a second one? Let's see. When is the next class? We did a full 30-minute recap, guys. I like it. I like it a lot. We did it. We fit it all in. There wasn't a whole lot of me. I mean, a lot of multiple things to discuss. I think Jax and Brittany have fallen out of love. I just don't think they're that. I don't think he's into her anymore. I thought it was cute that Brittany and Danny helped put together that surprise for Kristen to help her make a baby. Trying to think. But the Jax, I mean, are we really surprised that Jax and Brittany, when is your next rest day? I don't have rest days. So go for it. You have more energy than me. You guys, if you have the energy, go for it. You guys, stay home and have a glass of wine. No, Alyssa, I told you I'm on a 2-week no alcohol cleanse. Oh, have I asked my friend to verify the thing? I didn't ask that specific question, but I was like, wait, you did what? And then I got confirmation of that, but I didn't ask for verification, Joe. You just reminded me about that. Now, what about the Brock and Sheena rumors that they are broken up? Are they? I haven't heard those rumors. I have not heard the rumors that they are broken up. My favorite coach is the one coaching tonight too. I normally don't do the night classes. Let's see. They have class at, it is currently 4:50. They have class at 5:30 or 6:45. Should I take the 5:30 class? Should I do it? Drink non-alcoholic wine and smoke a CBD blunt. I don't like to smoke blunts. A CBD blunt. I don't like smoking weed. I will sneak a cigarette now and then, but I don't know. I'll do a weed gummy. Oh, I don't like Reddit rumors. That's what the Sheen and Brock thing is. I mean, listen, until there's proof, everyone's like, do it. 5:30, do it. Yes. Oh, you guys are a bad influence. You're supposed to be like, no, Zach, rest. You earned it. Well, I mean, I guess I can have a little snack right now and then look, I'm trying to bulk up, you guys. I'm trying to really build. Oh, look at the arms though. Can we just boom, 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 boom. I be up in the gym, just working on my fitness. Look at smell my armpits. Get on your knees and smell my armpits, bitch. Donkey booty, stallion booty. What's yours, Zach? Oh, do I have a donkey booty or a stallion booty? I don't know. What is my booty? You want to see my booty? Here. You can judge my booty. I don't know if I have a good booty. Here, I'll show you my booty. Do I have a good booty? Booty, 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 booty. Let's. Oh, okay. That was my booty. Do we like my booty? I can do it, but I cannot do red. Yeah. Have a high protein snack. Yeah. I think I'm going to have a protein bar and maybe drink a little bit of a Celsius and then be like, let's go running up that hill. Dun, 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 dun. It's a little flat. It's okay. We don't judge. What? Listen, Joe, there was no junk in that trunk to begin with, okay? I was really, really big, and then I lost a lot of weight, and I, like, deflated, and all of my skin was saggy, and now having to rebuild and replenish all of that. Hmm. Pamela says it's tight and right. That was not on my bingo. It wasn't on mine either. Joe said it's a little flat. Um, I love your live, Zach. Last night was crazy on Vanderpump Rules. It really was. Eat a gummy and stay in. No, now I'm pumped. Only because my favorite coach, Joe, he's coaching the class tonight, and I only get to see he only coaches Monday morning classes, but never that's the only morning class he coaches. So I only get to see him once a week. But I'm like, ooh, now I only like Joe because he's always pumping me up. And he's like, damn, Zach, ooh, look at those guns. He's like, I didn't even recognize you from behind. And I was like, ooh, yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's right. So Joe just he's a good cheerleader. He pumps me up. I normally don't do evening workouts, but I think I might be into it. Up in the gym. Look, I got the little titties going. Titty popping. Titty popping. Tiny booties matter. Okay, I wouldn't call it tiny, Lindsay. I wouldn't say it's a tiny booty. It's getting perky, you know? Give it time. I've been doing squats. Maybe tonight and sleep in tomorrow. No, if I do it tonight, I'm still gonna go tomorrow. Oh, well, actually, Coach Dave is not my favorite coach. He's not as good of a cheerleader, but sometimes lately his playlists have been slapping. Joey used to be my favorite. She was my favorite coach because she's always got energy in the mornings, but her playlist today was a little slacking, I have to say. I do love me some Joey, but I wasn't like fully into her playlist today. I'm a Gemini too, can you tell? Yeah. Something tells me Joe's night class is great. Go for it. I mean, well, it's the same class I took this morning. That's the thing. They're all the same class. So I would essentially be taking the same class that I already took this morning. But I have energy. Was the class this morning hard? It was a long endurance run now that I think about it. Oh, that reminds so it's not a new class. It's literally the same class that they do throughout the day. Hmm. I don't know. That may change how I feel about this now. I love that this is just what the live has become. I don't think your butt is flat. You loom better now than ever. Oh, I think you meant look better now than ever. Just my opinion. Thank you. Well, I either go to Joe's class or I just go to the gym here in my apartment building. Maybe I just don't have the motivation. And I always feel like intimidated about doing things by myself. 'Cause I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, bodybuilder. I don't know. What should I do? Okay, I'm done. If it was a different class, I'd say go. Yeah, now that I remember that it's literally the same class, I'm kind of like, "Mm." If you just want endurance, you know what to do. Just visit him today. Shut up, Joe. Um, hmm. Do it tonight and sleep in tomorrow. But at least tomorrow is a different workout. Whereas tonight, it's literally the same workout I already took in this morning. They're HIIT classes or stair climber or the rower. I could do that. Yeah, I could do the stair climber. I don't need to do any more treadmill. I was walking all around downtown today. I did what 3 miles on the tread. Oh, but I'm sad I'm not going to see Joe. I have Dave tomorrow. Hmm. What to do? What to do? To do? I'm up in the gym, working on my fitness. He's my witness. I just want to do some gains. I don't know if I want to run on the treadmill for another 30 minutes today, though. I might skip Joe's class only because it was a long endurance run. It was just all endurance today, which is great when it's like first in the morning, you're pounding it out at the end of the day. Stair climber and rower are the best cardio, but I don't need any more cardio is what I'm saying. I did a lot of cardio this morning and I was walking all around town today that I don't need additional cardio. I might just do like a little workout here at the gym. Just do some lifts. But I feel like everybody's going to be at the gym right now. I don't know what to do. My head is spinning. Maybe I'll just skip it altogether. Pound it out in other ways. That's a good idea too, Joe. I ain't mad at that idea. Maybe I can find another way to work in a sweat. Little Topo Chico. Running up that hill. What about sauna? I don't have a sauna. I used to have a sauna, but then when I moved into this apartment, I got rid of it. Which now makes me sad. I do love a good sweat. Take the pups out for a walk. Pamela, all I do is take the pups out for a walk. Yeah, I think I may do some weight training here at our apartment gym. You know, just like pound it, curls, curls for the girl, curls for the girls, curls for the girls. Boom, boom, boom. Tricep, tricep, tricep. Oh shoot, what? I am so glad I found your group. You make me laugh every day. Aw, my dog thinks I'm nuts. Aw. Well, that's a bummer. All right. Well, I guess it's time to wind down. I'm not going to Joe's class tonight. I really wanted to, and I was like hyped about it. I was like, I'm gonna do it. But now I'm like, I already know what the class is, and I don't want to do the exact same thing again today. Especially because then that means I'll have to eat more, and I already don't want to eat more. A reformed twink, yeah. Am I a reformed twink? The twink to daddy pipeline you're on. Let's get it. I'm here for it. Come me, swallow me, drip down the side of me. Get on your knees. Your arms are jacked. Any thoughts on BravoCon postponing a year? I'm not surprised. I mean, usually when you plan those things out, you plan them well in advance because like booking and stuff. And with the like Vegas is a really tough city to do that in. That I would just imagine contract wise, it was probably just better for them to book everything for the following year versus trying to cram it all this year. So I think it worked out better. I'm sure they were like, exploring venue options and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm not surprised by it. We'll see. Maybe we'll plan something for this year in place of it here in LA, California. All right, I'm going to wrap here because I feel like the last 13 minutes have really just been rambles of nonsense. And people are like, what was all of that? It was boring. All right, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. If I don't work out, what am I gonna do now? It's 5:00. I can't drink. Normally I'd be like, yeah, let's drink. And now it's like, nah, can't do that because we're on break. All right. Well, I'm gonna go make myself useful. Talk to you later. Later, skater. Ciao for now. Bye, guys. Have a good night. Love you, mean it.